Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think you'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be
Along the Tama has been missing in Savannah.
And as you come around, and it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh, I knew it's you, yeah, boy.
Where is Cody?
Hey family, how is everybody doing? Come on in. It is Wednesday, you guys. We are in the middle of the week of September, in the middle of the month of September, you guys. And it is 9/13/2023. Thank you guys for showing up, coming on in. I thought I was going to probably kind of swing it a little bit earlier, but I've been rolling and running. And trying to get things together, trying to figure out what's going on. We're going to still talk about this Breasia case. Her name is, the little girl, she's 10 years old. You're going to say her name. Please put her name in the chat for me. Please, family, go ahead and put this baby's name in the chat. We love her. We miss her. She was a part of our family. We love her. We're going to say her name. Put her name in the chat, Breasia Terrell. We're going to not forget about this child, just like we don't forget about Cupcake. We don't forget about Cody. We don't forget about none of these kids. King Hill. All these babies. We got Sincere and Classic. We got I don't know why I want to say Malaysia. Oh Lord. What's the baby girl name? Oh my goodness, her name. Malia. Two Malias. We got two Malias. We got them all. And then we got Tyree and we got Tyrese. And oh my God, we got so many kids, and we got a big family that, we support. We love them, and they're not here. And Breasia is one of them that we put our arms around, you guys, and we love her. We didn't get to see her. I mean, as far as we see a picture of her, an image of her. But just imagine that if this child would have grew up and had, got married or had babies. And I mean, when somebody take a person out of this world, it's not a game. You guys, this is not a game. That child would never walk down the aisle, would never have a first date, would never drive a car, never go to college. The things that your kids get to do, Cash, come on. She said Cash, Amari, Braylon, come on. We know their names. Say their names. And people don't think of the whole situation. They just think, oh, this child is just gone. And that's it. No, you wiped out a whole generation. That's what you did. You wiped out a lot. I mean, it changes the whole world, and it does. And even though this is a small town in Iowa, and the population is kind of crucial to look at the numbers, when we look at the statistics of, this little African-American girl, 10 years old, being raised in Iowa and getting killed by her stepfather, it tells you it can happen anywhere. But it happened there in Iowa, in Scotts County, in Davenport, or you want to say DeWitt, or you want to say Clinton County, whatever you want to say, that's where they found her body. And it was a skeleton when they found her. She went missing on July the 10th. That's significant to me because that's my birthday. And I'll always think about this girl when my birthday comes. It'll be sorrow but sweet. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and I know other people don't think of it like this, because I'm not losing a kid that I have bared and carried for 9 months and fed and got up in the middle of the night and was sick and things of that nature. So not all kids are the same. And I can't feel what this mother's pain is. I can't feel what the family is feeling because this is a 10-year-old. And I'm going to tell you something. Two things for certain when and everybody tells me this, and I don't ever want to have to feel it. When you lose a child, it is different. They say it's different. It's like a whole, like you don't even want to get up. So when people come and they want to down a mama, she got to keep going. She got other kids, and she don't really want to. I mean, you're fighting yourself, and then you're fighting. Was you a part of it? Was you cause of it? And every time somebody asks you a question, it seems like they blaming you. You didn't do this right. You didn't change the bed. You didn't take her to the doctor. You shouldn't have left her over there. You shouldn't have put her over here. When there is actually no book, and any time at any given day, it could have happened to you and me. It really could. People be like, no, it couldn't happen to me because I watch mine. No, let me tell you something. I don't care how good you watch kids. These monsters is around you and them all the time. It be maybe somebody that's really close to you. It can be your cousin, your uncle, your daddy. We just seen a grandfather beat a child to death with the grandmother there. So when people be like, well, I send my kid to my mama, there is no safe place. The only thing safe is, and hope you don't lose your mind, is with you. Come on now, is with you. You know what you're going to do. You know sometimes you even lose your cool and you have to step back. Like I said, sometimes you got to go put them in the room and get away from them and be like, oh, Lord, help me. Let me go get me some help. Because these kids done got on my last nerve. They done stole my car. They done cussed me up and down. They just messing with my nerves. Everything I done raised, put all this money invested in this kid. This kid told me, okay. And there is some kids a little bit different than, And people say, it ain't no different as people. Yeah, it is. And I am not lying about this. Now, 10 years from now, it won't be like this because they'll be pretty much more on the same path. But still today, you're not going to catch no little black kid telling his mama, go to hell. F you, mother. That's why some of them is in jail right now. The mother and the father. Because they can't take it. But I see it all day when I go to work. And these little kids, I almost caught them some. But nevertheless, let me hold my tongue. I hear them telling their mamas and their daddies, F you, shut up, mom. And when you raise your kids around that kind of environment, your kids going to come home and think they can do it to you. And then that's when you have to knock them back into reality, okay? I've been there. That's why I say it's coming around where it's going to be more accepted in all cultures because we are a mixing pot. Anyway, let's get into this conversation. Thank you guys for showing up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're new here, let us know that you're new and we can accommodate some, everybody, will speak to you and make sure that you're here. Now, I hear, but I'm not for sure what this is meaning, some paperwork that Henry has filed. So when we heard the breaking news yesterday of the letter that he wrote to the judge, I believe, I'm not for sure, but it was attached. He was firing his attorney. Now, on the paperwork, though, when you file a motion, this is what it says. The state of Iowa is the plaintiff, and Henry Earl Dinkins is the defendant. And if you want to know what the case number is, okay, you got to go find it. But it's regarding a pro se letter. That's what it's regarding. And a pro se letter, meaning, let's get the meaning of pro se, because I know what it means. And you guys, but we're not going to assume anything. What is the definition to a pro se letter? Pro se is a Latin for in one's own behalf. It says the right to appear pro se in a civil case in federal court is defined by statute 28 U.S.C. Thus, with some limitations, anyone can appear pro se, and anyone who appears before the court without an attorney is considered pro se. Now, he is not considered pro se. You know why? Because he already has an attorney, and to enter a pro se letter on the behalf of himself, like he must have had fired his attorney, and he don't want his attorney. But here's the thing. You have to go in front of the judge. You remember like Corey did? Corey had to go in front of the judge and was like, I don't want this attorney or whatever. And so then the judge says, okay, and they can do this in a matter of a day. He sends a letter to the judge and say, I'm firing my attorney. I don't want him. This man done put the letter already and filed a motion. He get him out of here. He's done. I don't want him no more. And so I don't know. I don't believe that the letter is legal. And when we got the information of the letter that he wrote about what he can prove and what he can and how the prosecutors did this, that's just yada, yada, yada. That's all that is. It is not legal because he can't represent himself because he's represented by an attorney. And until legally that judge released him and the judge asked the questions just like he did on the court, on the Cody Bigsby case with Corey being in jail, and Corey had to go in front of the judge and they sit there and say, I'm releasing him from representing me. And the judge can ask, they already talked about it behind closed doors, but then the judges say, is there any way that you guys can reconcile this journey together because we're so much, we're involved. And then the attorney says, no, this is the reason why. And they tell the reason why. They don't have to go into detail because they've already spoken to the judge in detail. But the judge got to do this in front of everybody. You can't just do it. Now, you can fire your attorney. Don't get me wrong. You can fire your attorney, but he is still obligated in the law to represent you until the judge release him because he was court appointed. You understand what I'm saying? And then people be like, well, he was having a breakdown, and then the attorney just didn't ever show back up. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? When you couldn't afford an attorney, well, he wanted to represent himself way before this, and I told you guys that. He was like, oh, I'm going to represent myself. And somebody must have talked to him and said, hey, don't do that. And then he was like, well, dang, because they say if you want to see a fool, see someone that tries to represent themselves in court. Now, because the way that the law is made, if you've ever went to court and represented yourself in anything, you really, even if you're right, you're still not going to win. You may win the argument or you may win feeling some kind of way, but that's just the way it's set up, you guys. Hey, come holler at us. How you doing? Hey, Soldier Girl. Hey, Sanja and Crystal Powers and Tina. And I see everybody up in the building. Come on in, you guys. So I'm gonna read this to you guys, and you can tell me what you're thinking. Hey, Lisa Calhoun, Diane, I want to say hello to everybody before I get into this and let them come on in the building. And I said, Curl Small, woke the God, Mrs. King, and Tina Paz. And Margie, Cherie Johnson. Let's see. I love you guys. Come on in, make yourself at home. Make sure you share the live. Breasia. Okay, I think that's all I see up in here. I don't see now. Freddie's being a little sick, but you guys pray for her, okay? And come holler at us, sister. And Caramel Coated Diamonds is in the building. And Miss Single is in the building. I never seen someone who represent themselves win. I've never either, Soldier Girl. I'm gonna tell you something. I got a ticket for speeding, and it was in a place where there was entrapment, where there was like drug activity or whatever. And I was going to work. I was going eastbound, and the sun rises in the east. So, and then there was railroad track, and I was driving in this Cadillac, and I know the railroad tracks was raggedy. And so the police pulled me over after I went over the railroad tracks, and he was like, ma'am, you was doing a 40. And I said, man, I can't be doing a 40. I ain't got that kind of car to do 40, number one. And I ain't trying to tear up stuff. I got my kids in the car. I am going eastbound early in the morning. The sun is in my eye. Why would I be doing 40 in a residential? And I didn't say this to him. I just took the ticket, and I said I was going to fight it in court. So I went and took pictures and everything, and there was nothing stating that the speed limit was 30, 35, or whatever. Read the laws and everything. Even if you don't see signs, it's just regularly known that it's going to be 30 miles an hour or whatever. But still, yet, like I said, I was not speeding. I went to court. I was making, back then in the day, a lot of money. $200 was a lot of money to make in a day, Like I had just started this really good job and everything. And anyway, I mean, that's good money today. But like I said, I was balling back then. But anyway, I went to court, had all my paperwork and everything. And I went to court, and they was like, okay, so I'm missing work to go to court. So I'm missing this $200 a day to tell the judge that I don't deserve this ticket. I don't want it on my record. I want my insurance going up like I'm speeding. I even had my kids in the car. And so they were like, okay, we're going to get in touch with the police officer. So they said, we'll see you after lunch. So 3-4 hours to go get the police officer. So the police officer come. So my whole day is just, I just lost money, which I didn't really because I took sick leave, and I'm pretty sure that's what I did. But nevertheless, I'm in front of this judge telling this judge, look at the car. You see what I'm saying? This car, it takes time to get. I just turned on that street. This car takes time to get up to 40. I couldn't get up to 40 if I wanted to. And then there's railroad tracks, and there's dips and holes and potholes in there. And I'm going eastbound with the sun in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting ready to get on the highway. And there's not even a sign. And I said, he tell me he clocked me doing like 40, 42, 45. He couldn't have. There's no way. This car wouldn't even make 40 in one block. So I challenged the police officer to the little wand thing, the little gun, speed gun, to show where he clocked me. And he was like, it's in the shop getting recalibrated. And the judge was like, well, ma'am, now here's the thing. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So now the judge wants me to show him, did I get my speed thermometer, checked out? Maybe I was want me to say I was doing over 40 and didn't know it because my speed thermometer thing ain't working. So now I'm defending myself from, you're already saying I'm guilty. I said, Judge, he needs to prove that I did this. You know what the judge said? The judge said, ma'am, I believe you didn't do it. Okay. But so we're going to take the ticket off, and you're going to have to pay court fees. And court fees was $150. So, everything that I worked for that day, which I didn't work, like I said, I clocked it, they win. She said, but I like speed thermometer. You like the speed thermometer? She says, speed thermometer. Okay, soldier girl, it's the speed thermometer. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's a speed thermometer. Anyway, y'all laughing at it. Anyway, let's talk about this thing. So Henry done went to this judge. What's going on, Tina Powers? Let's see. What's going on, Tina? What's going on, Tina Powers? You said something there. I don't see it. This is for Freddie's prayers and hearts go up to you, Freddie and the dog. All right. Okay. She said, SP, I need some new words like yesterday. Yeah. Speed thermometer. So then it says, so this is a motion that he puts in. It's one of 2 pages. I don't know where the other page is at, though. Oh, okay. All right. So let me read this, and then I'm going to look at my text message because they're coming in. It says defendant sent a letter to the undersigned. Defendant sent a letter to the undersigned on 9/11/2023. Defendant is represented by court-appointed counsel. So his attorney is court-appointed. And then it says, from the Iowa Code section 8146A, a defendant who is currently represented by counsel should not file any pro se documents except for a motion seeking disqualification of appointed counsel. That I just said to you guys. People in prison do this all the time. They just be doing stuff. because they're starting to understand. They're looking at life. That's why I said if anybody knew anything, they need to go in here to speak up, because this man is right now. He drowning. He fighting for his life now. He'll tell on anybody that he can, because you're not. It says again. I'm gonna read this last sentence to you guys, because sometimes I just talk too much. But it says a defendant who is currently represented by counsel should not file any pro se documents except for a motion seeking disqualifications of appointed counsel. They shall not. That means it is not legal to even do that. But he did something. But anyway, or somebody else did it for him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He probably told his home girl, Andrea, file this paperwork and stick my name on it and go get it notarized. And she probably did. And she filed it for him. Because you can do stuff like that, or whatever. The clerk shall provide a copy of this order and defendant's letter to all counsel of record. The defendant attorney shall confer with defendant to determine whether any motion should be filed and set for hearing. So we might hear a hearing in the next day. Maybe the day they doing it. Maybe they looking at the judge talking about, I want him fired, because that's what he's saying. He's got to fire him, and the judge got to approve it before that attorney can be just taken off. Now, he may not like it, but that's the way it works in the real world. We just don't do what Dinkins want us to do. And so not only that, it says that the defendant's letter to all counsel of record. Then it says the defendant's attorney shall confer with the defendant to determine whether any motion should be filed and set for hearing. The defendant is advised to work through court appointed counsel. Defendant is further advised that everything defendant files shall and will be provided to all counsel of record, including the prosecuting attorney, and that the court cannot consider pro se. Hold on. Here's the big whammy right here, you guys. The court cannot consider a pro se filing other than a motion seeking disqualifications of appointed counsel. Feed Henry some pork chops and French fries, and that would be a very good dinner for Henry. That's what Tina Power said. Woke the guy says Dinkins is doing his very best to create a mistrial. I wouldn't be surprised if he released a copy of the letter. Hold on. It went up and I can't see the ending of it. What you said. I wouldn't be surprised. Hold on. It's still popping up there. Let me go here. Dinkins is doing very best to create a mistrial. I wouldn't be surprised if he released a copy of the letter to the news. Exactly. But let me tell you something. Them people down there, they looking at this like, that big dummy. He really trying to get up out of there. And it's, to be honest with you, it's a little bit too late. But isn't it weird to do that during deliberation? It is weird. It is weird to be doing that, and the judge already set a time and a date. A time and a date. It's going to be what? I don't know, maybe 9 o'clock on Friday at September the 15th. The verdict will be heard. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. I got somebody at my door. So yeah. So anyway, he had his opportunity to talk. If anybody wants to call in, share. I always give opportunity, I always give time. I am going to put the link up in the chat. If you come on, we're making another list because you guys, we're going to get into this conversation. I want to hear what you guys got to say because we're keeping close, an eye on this thing. I know some people, and I don't say nothing bad about any channels. I just don't. Well, sometimes I do, but I'm not saying that's what I try to do. It's just sometimes that's what comes out naturally. I see what I see. If you just doing some stupid stuff or saying some stupid stuff, then yeah, that's what I see. But if you want to call me, my number is 316-553-3056. You want to share with everybody what you think about what's going on, what Henry has did, what you think. You think he's going to this is like when I heard the letter the other day, I was like, what is he doing? This doesn't even make sense. It just don't. Which keys you want? This key? You gonna take the car? You gonna take the truck now? Or later?
Probably later.
Okay.
Right, do you need it?
No.
Okay.
No. But you're gonna have to move the Nissan.
Oh, where's the keys to the Nissan?
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I need it up in the front anyway.
You online?
Yeah.
What they doing to your car?
What?
Down at the shop.
What?
Marking them.
I don't know. Why?
Him and somebody. They got your hood up and stuff. They're looking at it.
What? Which one?
The one that we just took down there.
Oh, they might be putting the window in. I don't know. He didn't tell me nothing.
Window in the hood up?
The window in the hood?
I said, how they putting in the window? The hood up. The front hood.
Oh, I don't know. He's probably looking at it or something. He said something about that top thing. Sunroof ain't working. But remember, it was some electrical work.
Yeah, it probably could be a blown fuse or something.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. He didn't tell me nothing. I told him get them receipts together. He said he got them.
The paperwork?
Yep, Margie said hello.
Tell her I said, hey.
He said, hey, it's another day. He done came all the way back. He was at the front door.
Yeah, because I had my interview today for same job, but I might get it.
Oh, yeah.
I might get it. She said, oh, man, this is the easiest interview. I said, yeah. And I do it all.
You do it all, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Are you going to back it in?
You want me to back it in?
No, you ain't got to back it in.
Yes, you do.
Why?
Because ain't no tag on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She said, congratulations, son. Anyway, if you guys want to call on in. I'm trying to get things situated because things is finna blow up. Somebody call me, talk to me, tell me what you think about this. The other page, okay, got you. I need to go and look at my here's what I found. Okay, here's what I found. Oh, yeah, there's some things going on in the Tyree Nichols case, and they're putting some more charges on them guys down there in Tennessee. Soldier Girl said, hubby, happy birthday. His birthday, my husband's birthday was Monday, you guys. We will be celebrating it this weekend. So you guys will see me. You guys will see what's going on. So anyway, anybody going to call me, talk to me? I usually have one person call me. All right. That's what I'm talking about. I got your name. I'm finna put it down here. Hey, Zen, what's going on? What's going on, Woke to God?
I feel like this guy is doing everything in his power to create the need for a mistrial.
Yeah.
I feel like he is going about it to the best of his ability. I really would like to know how the news received that letter.
Say what?
I would like to know how the news received that letter.
Well, what do you mean? I just told you. He put it in a motion to file for to fire his attorney, and everything is public records. When you file a motion, you can't just file it and it be all secret. You got to file a motion and it's got to be public because people got to be able to respond. So everything, when he filed it, the public gets it too. Like when you file, just like when you get ready to get a divorce, you got to file that public. That's a motion that you're filing for to get a divorce. You can't just divorce somebody and nobody knows about it. Everybody got to know about it. And if you can't find a person, you got to put it in the paper. You can't put it in the paper. You got to figure out some kind of way to notify anybody of interest. Just like somebody died and they're going to sell the house, and you got to put that stuff in the paper. And all of that is public record. So this girl that does a lot of our searching for us sent me the information and said it was attached. This was attached to the letter. When he filed the motion for disqualification, this letter to the judge was attached to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't say how it got released to the news. Because just because it becomes public information does not mean that it's getting sent out to the news. It just means that anybody can look it up.
Yeah, but when you have cases like this, like anytime when you have cases like these big cases, I don't know what happened to her. The phone just hung up. You've got the news people watching that stuff. Hey, this is SP.
Hi, it's SP.
Hold on. She's still on the other line. Hold on. Okay, she hung up. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Okay, hold on. She's calling back. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna merge y'all two. Oh Lord. Okay. Are y'all there?
I'm here.
Okay. So, because my phone just hung one up, and then let's go. Let's talk.
Okay, I'm sorry, excuse me. What I was going to say, hello, book God, hello, family. Well, I'm thinking, I'm assuming, I'm not going to say this concrete, real talk now. Henry knows that the bird is going to be read regardless on Friday. To do anything to stop or hinder or postpone, he probably reached out to the news and let them know that this is what's going to happen. He sent a letter to the judge. And so, this case has been highly profiled since the 14 days it's been running on the TV.
You think he
just trying to get some talk, and maybe the judge will say we're gonna postpone and see what's gonna happen after the motion be filed, whatever. That probably was his idea to hinder the verdict to be read on Friday. He probably did it himself.
But even if, well,
it still don't mean anything if he do it because the judge already said the hearing is verdict gonna be made on Friday.
Right. But the judge can cancel it and say on another day or whatever.
But wouldn't Henry have to prove that his attorney he was disqualified and not representing him and the evidence was not presented before the trial? Because again, you had every opportunity before the trial started, while he was in jail, to write letters, to make your point, show evidence, give evidence, talk about somebody else that helped you, but you went to the week of when the verdict is going to be read. It's a little bit too late on that.
Right.
You should be like, judges submit. I agree with you. It's going to be just like Jesse Smollett. I out the courtroom. I could have told you I was guilty a long time ago, and he should have.
Right.
It's a waste of time. It shouldn't be too late.
It shouldn't be.
He had plenty of opportunity.
And
especially if he was having problems with his attorney, he should have voiced that during the trial. Exactly, especially when they asking the defendant's attorney, which will allow this evidence to be on record. They will say yes or no, but they didn't agree to it. They didn't disagree to it. Excuse me. They let all evidence go. So therefore, that was your opportunity there.
Right.
Yeah. I'm getting back on the chat.
All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm gonna go back down to it.
All righty.
I think he's got a plan.
All righty. We got Tina coming on.
I did want to ask though. What did you think about? What did you think about the sentencing being postponed today on Giselle and Jacqueline?
On Janquella? I mean, Jacqueline?
Jacqueline and Giselle.
Well,
they were supposed to get their sentencing at 8:30 this morning, and now they've postponed it until the 28th. This is the second time.
Yeah. I think they're postponing it because somebody's trying to make a plea deal.
Is it too
late? They're already found guilty, but the plea deal, like, do you remember what they did in King Hill? It's still not too late to have some leniency if you can tell us where that child, them kids are. Because you got to remember, we can lock you up forever, but we as humans, we want them babies. We want them. We still want them, even though that you did what you did. We still want to, bury them and whatever the family wants. I would, and I'm gonna tell you guys something else that I know you guys didn't know. So pray for this mother. Breasia, she came up missing in 2020, right? That's 3 years ago. This mother has not got her child and buried her child yet. They still got the baby. You know what I'm saying? And the family wants some kind of closure. And nobody's speaking on it. Well, I guess nobody knew. I didn't know till little birdie told me that they got no closure. We're closer than what people think we are to this case. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And what I'm speaking is facts. I'm not speaking what I heard. I'm speaking facts. So this mama in the family wants the baby home so they can bury her. It's been 3 years. But I understand why they probably won't release it, because something told, there's some DNA that wasn't Henry's. It was somebody else's, but they didn't go figure out whose DNA it was. Now, I don't know where the DNA was found. Was it found in her panties? Was it found around the skeletal remains, the remnants, or whatever you want to call it? Was it found in the vehicle? Was it, I don't know, on the shirt? I can't even remember, but maybe they're trying to tie things in together, but there was somebody else involved. Had to be. There had to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's weird that they haven't turned the body over to the family. That's weird. That's not something that normally is done, if they would retain the body
That, yeah, that long. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back in the chat. Thank you, Lexi.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay, I see Tina Powers is calling. I got woke the God down. I got you your point. I got Margie. She came on up in here. I got you your point. Tina Powers is trying to call in. You guys, we got 45 minutes. We got 15 minutes. Speak your piece. Don't be like Henry and wait until the verdict come in, and then you want to come in the room talking about SPC. I told you. Now is the time to tell me something, because you want to tell me something. I am listening, because when I get off of here, I'm going straight to bed. And you guys see me come running in here, because it's going to be breaking news. It's going to be information nobody else is going to have. I guarantee it. I promise you. You know, unless something else happened, there's always they say a wrench in the spoke. But I kid you not, we're going to try to get everything fresh, facts, and it's going to be first. The 3 F's. Fresh, facts, and we're going to be first with it. I ain't not really trying to be first. It doesn't matter to me. It's just sometimes God puts you in those positions, and you know what? We're going to take advantage of everything that he gives us. So, I mean, things is just dumping in our laps. And I'm like, whoa. I do want to tell you guys that if I didn't say this before, I will say it. I really don't like to put other information in the chat, but for we all know that we can be a little bit multitasked in our minds, in our perceptions of what's going on. And we all are looking at other things that's happening. Like Woke the God said, I did not know it, that they done reschedule the sentences for the Classic and Sincere case. Thank you, Woke the God, because until I get some information that it doesn't happen and this is what's going on, I don't know. I hadn't even thought about it. And then somebody hit me up and said, SP, let family know that in the case with Tyrese Nichols, those officers got more charges taxed to them. So they looking like not even being put under the jail, but in Hades underneath the jail. Way, way, way down yonder. They say way in the waters, way in the waters, baby. Ways in the waters. Somebody's waiting in the waters. Anyway. Yeah. And so we got to get back on that case. Like Diesel outside. Y'all hear him barking? He's like, I hear you singing, mama. And so I just want to say on that case, you guys, we're going to try to get down there. I'm not going to try with everything in my power. I've spoken to the family, and the family said, come on. And they got a small courtroom, so they're not letting the public in the courtroom. They're letting all the news, social media and stuff. And they got to have, you got to look at, you got these, how many officers? 5 officers, 6 officers, whatever. And then they've got wives, they got the husbands, they got, or whatever. They got sisters and brothers and mothers and kids and stuff. And then you got the attorneys, and then you got, the prosecutors, and then you got the victim, and then you got their family, and then you got the news. So there's no space for public. They're not saying the public can't. It's just these are the priority people that can come in. That's why I was telling the family, let me come in with you guys. And they was like, hey, they're not doing nothing right now, SP. I feel like if I come up there, I don't want to be outside looking in. I will do that. It don't really matter to me. I will do that. But if I can come in with you guys, That would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Because any way we can support the family, we're going to try to get in there and support. Sometimes just making a phone call is support. Sometimes just being there, saying, having a sign, letting everybody know you're going live and saying, we represent and we support these families. That's a good thing. You never know how these families are feeling. And you guys, I'm going to tell you guys something. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to tell you, and I'm gonna be strictly honest with you. When you and Brown Sugar, anybody that ever made phone calls to a family that's going through this and hearing them, it sticks to you when you hear their voice and when they speak their truth. Because you're gonna know, like, why. I want to ask you a question, but it's so disrespectful. Even though I want to know, like on Breasia, I know the answer, but I'm just saying, like, there is no words to say. Couldn't you feel something? Did you not think that this man was, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is SP.
Hey, SB, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, I got a little cold going on, but I'm hanging in here.
All right.
But look, so the question that I got is, what are they waiting on to release this baby? This mother has got to get some closure. We can't bring the baby back, but the only thing that I can say is release.
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 Mm-hmm.
Release.
Release.
Yes. And when Tyree Nichols came on my feed this morning, I couldn't help but to share it with y'all. Maybe, behind, but that's okay. I gave it to you anyway. And Cash Garvin, his family needs some peace and all that. But where are they waiting on, Lord God? Please release it. Why is this mama ain't got her body?
I don't know. They don't know. I don't know. I was like, what? Girl, I was like, what? It surprised me. And so, and I don't think even after the case is over and the verdict is read, I don't believe that's the end of it. Because I don't think we got the whole story. I just don't.
I was thinking at work today, and me and you done talked about this before. My brain needs to stop, okay?
Yeah.
So let me just say this, and I'm going to get off the phone or whatever so somebody else can come in and have their own thoughts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the first time that Henry wanted Breasia, if you know what I mean. He was hunting her. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so this ain't the first rodeo that he allegedly they wanted her. You understand where I'm going?
Mm-hmm. He made sure when he had that opportunity, he did it.
Right, and that's where I was going. I was trying to, be respectful to the YouTube, but anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Right. Right.
But Henry, we're gonna feed you some pork chops and French fries. Maybe tomorrow SP can feed you that. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down, and you can call me anytime, SP.
Yeah.
I
can what?
You can call me anytime.
I am gonna call you. I am gonna call you. I was up for 48 hours. More than 48 hours. I was up for 48 hours, and I literally got into it with my boss. And then the day I only got like 4 hours, and I had to take care of some business. But when I stop, I'm gonna call you. And it won't be today, because if it's today, I'll be at work. And right now, I'm like, with work now, I'll probably call you when I'm just doing my errands, runs, or whatever. But trust me, I'm going to call.
Oh yeah. Let me share this with the family, and then you can share it too.
Mm-hmm.
But do y'all remember Darian? What was his name? DB.
Darren Brown.
he has to go for a psychiatric
evaluation.
Right.
Again,
y'all.
Okay.
Again.
But didn't he murder a police officer while he was in jail too?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, because somebody said he didn't, the officer or something, and then the officer had a heart attack or something. I don't know. I don't.
But yeah, check your messages and get back with me.
All righty.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Okay, we got Tina Powers in the building. I got you down, Tina Powers. Let's give a shout out to everybody that came on today, started talking about what's going on. I want to thank everybody. I still got a closure. Don't go nowhere, you guys. I just want to give a shout out to everybody because I love you guys. All right, you guys. So let's recap for the ones that's in the back, the ones that came in here late. It is 3:56. We're finna get on off of here. So I'm going to recap for you the ones that did not hear the breaking news, because I'm not mad at you. I mean, we go over this case over and over and over and over. And sometimes, my time don't line up with your time, and that's cool. It do be what it be. But I am finna pull it right on up, and my girl, she sent it to me straight where I don't have to go to the link and all of blah, 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 blah. She sent it to me straight so I can read it to you from Straight Street. Y'all got to know about Straight Street and Demarcus. Okay, it says the state of Iowa plaintiff versus Henry Earl Dinkins, and then the case number 07821 FECR 415636. The order is regarding pro se letter. It says regarding the pro se letter, saying he is basically pro se, is saying, I am wanting to defend myself. I don't want this attorney. The attorney is fired. Get him out of here. So this is what it says. The defendant sent a letter to the undersigned on 9/11/2023. Defendant is represented by the court-appointed counsel. Pursuant to Iowa Code Section 8146A, a defendant who is currently represented by counsel shall not file any pro se documents except for a motion seeking disqualifications of appointed counsel. The clerk shall provide a copy of this order and defendant's letter to all counsels of record. Defendant's attorney shall confer with the defendant to determine whether any motion should be filed and set for hearing. Defendant is advised to work through court-appointed counsel. Defendant is further advised that everything the defendant files shall and will be provided to all counsels of record, including the prosecuting attorney, and that the court cannot consider pro se filings other than a motion seeking disqualifications of appointed counsel. So that tells us that that's what this is all about. Him firing his attorney, telling him to get out of here. He don't want him to represent him no more. That he should have filed all of this stuff, and he didn't say this, and they didn't give us that, and the prosecutor messed up everything, and he knows under penal code this and penal code that. That don't mean anything. That just means you went in there like you've been doing, reading all these law books, thinking that you can represent yourself. Got you. He said this before. So this is not like this is not new to us. This is what people do, trying to always prolong his time. And sometimes they do this, you guys, and I'm just going to tell you right now. Sometimes they do this so they can spend more time in the county because the food is better. Their time, like the young lady came on the other day, Miss Sandy came up here and said they do this because they get more time off when they're in the county than they do when they go on upstate and start doing their time, you know? So it ain't like he's getting a whole bunch of time, but you just think he's been in this county for 3 years. So he's probably got 5 years taken off. And he's probably going to have to do a 20. So that right there tells you he only got 15 years to go. So the more time that he can stay in there acting like he's fighting, well, he is fighting. I'm not going to say he acting like, or I'm not going to say what DL said. DL said supposedly fishing, you know, he supposedly be fishing. He knew darn well that that man wasn't fishing, and he knew darn well that man that they called want to say that was his daddy. He was like, I'm sorry, that's not, his name is Henry. His name is Henry. Henry was looking, searching for your sister. He know what searching and looking looks like, and he wasn't looking for his sister because he already knew where he was. And that's just the facts. Okay? And we can't get mad at it. It is what it is. Hopefully we learn from this. And, you know, we ain't going to let this little girl die in vain. Somebody needed to hear that not everybody in your life is going to be picture perfect babysitters. And before you just let your kid stay with somebody, your neighbor, your girlfriend, and I don't care. It ain't got to be a man. It can be a woman. It can be your child that your other kid need to stay away from or whatever, you know. And people thinking, oh, a little bit of rub don't hurt, or a little bit of sucky don't hurt, and until it become, well, that person gonna tell, and then now you got, you know, a murder case. Because I believe when the mom said that Breasia was a storyteller, she likes to tell the truth. You know, she was one of them that was going to do everything right, and she would tell. And if she wasn't, if she was one of those scary girls, and, you know, I'm not going to tell mom this and I'm not going to tell mom that, then they probably would have been able to get away with it, and she would have just kept her mouth shut and never told nobody. And when she finally said something, nobody would have believed her. But she probably was a true storyteller. And they was like, wait a minute, hold up. You know, no, we cannot let her go. But we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up. And you guys, I just want you guys to be just aware. We're going to get on off of here. I see our time is up. We have to be very careful who we have let around our children. Yes, DL is way smarter than him. I don't believe that his sons at all. I don't believe that his son at all. SP, hard to believe it. You don't believe his son? I don't believe that son at all. You don't believe DL? Girl, you're going to have to be very careful. I believe the little boy. I just don't think, let me tell you about kids. You know, like, just because we have kids, we think we know kids. And then, but when, you know, you're a teacher, or, you know, you work with kids have a way of, they're just scared. And the way adults talk to them. She said, no. Okay, I don't think is Henry's son. Oh, you don't think that's Henry's son? Yeah, you know, that you know, hey, that's questionable. You're right, that's questionable. Yeah, that's questionable. You know what I'm saying? You're right. I feel what you're saying. I got you. But you know, kids know when they're not wanted, or or they're bad. People say they're bad. It's like such and such is bad, you know, and we know what that word means when you say a child is bad. It's like nobody really wants to deal with that kid. Well, you know, that kid know you saying that about them. So they're gonna say, well, hey, you call me bad, so you know, next time you come in here, I'm gonna cuss you out. Or the next time you leave your purse, I'm gonna go get in it and go get the keys. Or the next time I'm gonna be fighting you and hollering at you and screaming, and I'm gonna go and leave and come back, and you be like, what am I gonna do with this kid? The kid is bad. Let me tell you, his actions are bad. The child is not bad. You know, we talk about kids like it's like vegetables or something. Like when you go to the store, you know, you can get a bad apple or you can get a bad watermelon, like it's sour or something. But kids are not bad. Their actions are just not understand. Like they never been here before. So they're trying to be accepted. And somewhere it could be something chemically that the child needed. I'm just being honest with you guys. And I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But just remember what I'm saying, because I always say things for a reason. Um you know, I've had I've had you know, my kid, my son, and people would always say, you know, they would never tell me my son was bad, but I know what they thought my son was, because he was always get kicked out of school. And you know, nobody wanted to babysit him, you know, and he get mad and oh and da 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 da. But he's the most loving child you ever, you know what I'm saying? He'll give you the shirt off his back. They just want to be accepted and understood. Like they don't get it that quick like everybody else. They think there's a equation that they don't get, and you have to just tell them and teach them. It may come slower to you. That don't mean you're bad. Don't mean you're dumb. It just means take your time, maybe go over it a little bit more than everybody else. And then once it starts ticking, you got it. You got the same thing everybody else got. Just the thing about you is you work harder for yours, and they don't even know it. But once you got it, they they just thinking it's so easy, but you master it. And it makes you look really good that you can do what you do, and you walk the way you walk, and and nobody can do it like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I go to work every day, and I don't think that I was diagnosed with anything, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably ADHD, you know? But I didn't know it. You couldn't have told me as a kid that's what I was, because you know my grades was terrible, horrible, you know, and I thought I was dumb, and I didn't get in a lot of trouble, but you know, I sit back and let everybody else take front seat, you know? But you know, I realized something. If I sit back long enough and look and see how everybody else move, I learn what not to do. I let them make all the mistakes. And I learned what not to do. And then I started realizing something. You know, a lot of this stuff ain't because I'm dumb. It's because nobody's never put time into me to teach me stuff. I didn't have a mother figure in my life. So every time when I was around an older woman, I didn't never disrespect her. I listened, whether I was in agreement or not. I listened. And then that stuff started sinking down into me, like planting a seed. I didn't go to her and say, thank you for this and thank you for telling me that. But I started remembering, okay, every time when I take my son out the house or my daughter out the house, put a t-shirt underneath them. An older lady told me that. Nobody told me that before. I just put the onesie on my kid and the pamper on the kid and walk out the door. Put some socks on that kid. I'm like, some socks and a onesie and a t-shirt. Well, I'm dressing them and then dressing them on top of that. But I didn't ask questions. If they told me to do it, I did it. And it made sure that my kid didn't have colic. It made sure that if we got caught in a storm and it was cold, you know, I had enough time to keep them warm with the car running, instead of they just got a onesie on in a diaper. Because when the diaper get wet, they're gonna freeze any darn way. You know, this is That's just the way it is. So when you're raising kids, every woman in here know there's problems, that you just don't go tell people the diaper done melted. You know what I'm saying? It's like cellulite. It's like grisonite in your hand. That how long the baby been in the diaper. You don't tell people, yeah, that happened to me before. My baby had a diaper rash and I couldn't afford a diaper, so I had to use a tampon or pad or whatever, or we had to use something until we can get some more diapers or whatever. But these things we go through and we're supposed to figure it out. So don't really be so hard on a woman that has tried to do everything right. It only takes one bad decision. And it ain't even a bad decision. It's just you made a decision, but it turned bad for that child. And just remember, it can happen to anyone. It really can. And so when we look at ourselves and we be like, I would never do this. And I would, if you really look back at your life, you have left your child with somebody that was unfit. I promise you, whether it was your mama, your sister, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, or something, and you knew that person was unfit. They were probably smoking weed with you. They done went and robbed the bank with you, or they done took you to some house and set you in the corner or whatever, something. And you sitting back and your kid done came and told you. I put my kids in the daycare. My kids told me, they was like, Mama, they fed us underneath the door. I said, what? People will do some crazy. And I was paying this woman. I said, what? Then my kid told me, Mama, my daughter told me, oh, Miss Pope, she put Coco in the closet. And I asked her about it. I said, you put my son in the closet? She was like, yeah, because he was scared of the dark. So you put my son in the closet? Terrorizing your kid. And then your kid is acting strange or whatever. And they scared. My son never did tell me that, but my daughter did. I would always, wherever I put my son, I put my daughter. My daughter didn't like it because she was like, Mom, he always getting in trouble and running things, but you going to be his voice. You're going to tell him to stop it. Leave him alone. You're going to come back and tell me what happened. My son wouldn't do that. He was just taking stuff from people and people was pushing him away and pushing him away. You know, like you're a reject. No, he's not. I've even had a police officer stop my son with his friend and told him to come because he was a project kid. We ain't never lived in the project. We always lived above and beyond. Okay? Hello? We serve a mighty God. Yes, we do. We're far, far, far from the project. My son ain't never seen a project. I'm just keeping it real. So when he said project, I said, what did he mean? No, you're trying to make my son into something that he's not. Like you're going to go in front of all his friends and call him to the car. You want him to run so you can shoot him in the back. And then you want to make him look like he's some kind of snitch or something. Stay away from my child. I not only wrote a letter to the chief of police, I called him up. You're not doing that to this one. Hello? Our kids go through a lot of stuff. They don't need the reject from us adults. Wrap your hands around them and secure them. You guys, I'm going to get off of here. I love you. I will see you guys. Hey, like I said, I am going to be coming in here, pulling up. Make sure you guys hit that like button as you go out and make sure I'll see you. Oh, let's look at Tyrese because I got to get that information. See what's going on with these officers. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.